number number 9 of the Journey of the King, where he's like, no, I want somebody who knows what the gods are about, who's seen the gods, and a prophet Parn. Paharn from Hern, God, he says, I know of a guy who has pierced the veil, basically, who's heard the gods, but he's out of reach. You're not going to be able to reach him. It's like, oh, I've got fleet horses. It's like, well, this is his story. And it's Kithneb, who was a fellow shepherd of his, who in the land of Hern is right up against a dark forest, and behind the dark forest is the twilight, and the sea, and the gods sit there and speak. But anyone enters the forest, never comes back. You never come back. But Kithneb was never satisfied. They had their own kind of small gods to worship there. They profit from travelers coming through, but Kithneb was not satisfied. So he kept on going up to the forest, just as close as he could before getting kind of sucked in. And one day he stopped talking to people. He wouldn't talk to people anymore. And finally, when he did answer very briefly, it was because he had heard the gods speaking in the twilight behind the forest. And once you've heard the voices of the god, he no longer can speak with men. And this went on for a while, and he finally confided to Paharn that he's super lonely now, because while he doesn't speak with men, when he listens to the gods, he can't actually understand what they're saying. So he is caught within this, I guess, liminal space, this space in between, and he's super lonely there, and he's just isolated. And he has to hear what they have to say. And he goes to somebody. He goes, actually, just go to the prophet. He goes to another prophet, who says, like, look, just go back, worship your small gods, forget all about this, because anything those are not words that are meant for you. That will only bring trouble. You have your small god, worship that. You know, it's there to give you, to help with kind of materially with your day-to-day life, and hopefully give you an easy passing when you die. But the gods are not what you want to mess with. But this does not satisfy him. And it's like, look, the only way you're going to do that is if you go around the forest, you sail down the thing, and you'd be able to get behind the gods and listen to them, and you'd be able to understand them. The catch being that they've put a god there, Brimdano, god of the whirlpool, who you'll hear the gods and all that, but then Brimdano will take you and you'll be dead. You'll be gone. So there's no way you get back to actual life if you've actually things. And he doesn't care. He and Parn and some rowers go down that way. They see Brimdano. They see this giant god. He's got a giant sail wrapped around his hand from some massive shipwreck that he does. He's thirsting for more shipwreck. They won't go any further. Kithneb, demands to get put in the boat and rows over there. And he does not see Brimdano. He doesn't hear Brimdano. All he can do is fixate on the gods and their voices and get to hear them. And upon his face the twilight beat full from the haunts of evening to illuminate the smiles that grew about his eyes as he came behind the gods. Him that had found the gods above their twilight cliffs, him that had heard their voices close at last and knew their meaning clear, him from the cheerless world with its doubting and prophets that lie from all hidden meanings, where truth rang clear at last, Brimdano took. I love that repetition. Him. It's like that. Dunsany has a very particular diction and style, but boy, he's very good at using it, and I'm getting more and more into reading it out loud. And of course, at the end of this, we have a coda where the king still doesn't care. But when Paharm ceased to speak, in the king's ears, the roar of Brimdano's exulting over ancient triumphs and whelming of ships seemed still to ring. I assume the but means it's deafened him. He's not listening. He's not listening to what all these prophets are telling him, which is like, this isn't this. There's some stuff you just don't go into. And I don't know. There's a kind of a part of me of my atheism is just like there's some things it's like this isn't this is not fruitful. This is not something that you're all the wisdom literature basically knows says. No, buddy, this you should tend to your garden. Well, that might be Voltaire, but it's like you need to focus on here and now, present in the day. That's the stuff. I mean, there's some stuff that goes into the mystical realms and stuff like that, but there's a lot of it just like do unto others that you would have done and do to yourself seems to be the biggest wisdom that a lot of things that you could get out of religion, and a lot of the mind numbing how many angels on the head of a pin questions are useless, or nothing that actually has any meaning to a human brain, and that's where I come from in my atheism. I don't think I've seen no evidence that there is anything more, and if there was more, by the very definition of it, it's superhuman, and it has nothing to do with me. So what the fuck? I'm a poppy swaying in the field. Do your lament for me.